I swear to God, if Donald Trump took away TikTok while simultaneously causing hyperinflation, someone would probably do something that I can't say. Do you understand? Like that it's complete treat annihilation. Can you imagine? Complete and utter treat annihilation. It is literally a on the treatlerites. Everything sucks and you can't even watch.
Air Force One moments ago. Let's listen to that.
Hello, I haven't seen you in a while. 5 million. For 5 million.
Dude, this is amazing. You know what this is? This is like when you fall out of love with your... And all the little things that they used to do, you no longer appreciate. And it gives you the ick. I suspect a lot of Americans are falling out of love with Donald Trump on this moment. When they think about what he did yesterday to their wallets, him running around and being like, look at my gold card, is not going to be so funny. I don't think America's going to look at him and go, haha, that's my cute president. He's so funny. He's glorious. They won't sit around and saying, based. I think every little thing he does, once the Riz is gone, will be matched against people's 401ks. The very fact that he undermined the entire global marketplace only to go and fuck off and play golf is insane.
$1 this could be yours. That was the first of the cards. You know what that card is?
Gold card.
It's the gold card. The Trump card, gold card.
Who's the first buyer?
Me.
Who's the second?
I don't know, but I'm the first buyer. It'll be out in about less than 2 weeks, probably. Pretty exciting, right?
You ready for some questions?
Anybody want to buy one? Okay, let's go.
First, we'd love to get your reaction, sir, to what's going on in the financial markets today.
Well, I mean, it's to be expected. This is a patient that was very sick. We really inherited a terrible economy, as you know, with a lot of problems, including loss of manufacturing and plants closed up all over the country. You know, we've lost 90,000 plants since NAFTA, if you think of that. 90,000, it's not even believable. And about 6 million jobs. And so it was a sick patient. It went through an operation on Liberation Day. And it's going to be a booming country, a very booming country. It's going to be amazing, actually. And we see it because we have trillions of dollars committed to come in, trillions.
Sir, can I ask you, when you say that it was an operation and the patient's healthy now, does that mean you see us as kind of towards the high water mark in terms of how high?
Sure. The operation's over, and now we let it settle in. You see the plants are starting to construction already. We have many plants. Indiana, massive auto plant, the Honda, and we have so many plants, and they'll be under construction. And as they start to build,
I like this analogy, and I think it deserves some, I think we need to expand on it. America is a patient that has terminal cancer. Donald Trump went in and chopped the person's leg off and then chopped the person's arm off. And it's like, well, you know, surgery's surgery. That's right. We saved the country. It's crazy. He's like, yep, there's less cancer in the body. Before, there was cancer in the legs. At least no more cancer in the legs.
You're going to see a lot of construction jobs, and you're going to see a lot of jobs when they open.
Does that mean chips and pharma tariffs are not on the table?
They're starting very soon. The chips are starting very soon. The pharma
yes, Chad, I'm f***ing eating. Sometimes I burp accidentally. Give me a fucking break.
Starting to come in, I think, at a level that you haven't really seen before. We are pharmaceuticals as a separate category, and we'll be announcing that sometime in the near future, not too distant future.
Are you negotiating?
That's under review right now.
Are you negotiating with partners currently?
What we have is we have a set of tariffs based on what they've been charging us. That's reciprocal. And those tariffs have come in and every country's called us. That's the beauty of what we do. We put ourselves in the driver's seat. If we would have asked some of these countries, almost most of these countries, to do us a favor, they would have said,
dude, you're America. What do you mean? You're the United States of America. You could call up every country already without doing this.
no, now they'll do anything for us. But we have tariffs, they've been set, and it's going to make our country very rich.
But are you open to deals with these countries if they're calling you?
Well, it depends. If somebody said that we're going to give you something that's so phenomenal, as long as they're giving us something that's good. For instance, with TikTok as an example, we have a situation with TikTok where China will probably say, we'll approve a deal, but will you do something on the tariff? The tariffs give us great power to negotiate. Always have. I've used them very well in the first administration, as you saw.
You're out of your mind, dude. That's so funny. Yeah, definitely. I swear to God, if Donald Trump took away TikTok while simultaneously causing hyperinflation, someone would probably do something that I can't say. You understand? Like that it's complete treat annihilation. Can you imagine? Complete and utter treat annihilation. It is literally a genocide on the treatlerites. Everything sucks, and you can't even watch like funny sketches on your goddamn timeline after a long day. Holy shit.
But now we're taking it to a whole new level because it's a worldwide situation. And it's very exciting to see. And what it's done is driven a lot of great companies to our country. And you're going to see construction starting all over. I already got a couple of calls from Lee Zeldin from Environmental. He's got some big plans to approve. Like really, Mr. President.
How long will it take to get manufacturing, American manufacturing, to where you would like to see it?
Well, let's say it's a 2-year process. You know, they start a plant, and they're big plants. We're giving them approval to also, in many cases, to build.
What do you mean it's a 2-year process? What the fuck are you talking about? Also, even in his most unrealistic, most positive estimation, it will still take 2 years? That is psychotic. It's not only wrong, but it's funny that this is the best case scenario that he brought forward. Like, he should have just lied and just been like, there's so many empty factories. Why don't we rebuild them into real factories? There's plenty of real estate out there. I love doing deals. I love doing business deals. I'm the fan. Like, just lie. If you're going to lie, just be like, oh, there's hella empty factories that we should just reopen immediately. You know what I mean? He's not even lying good. God damn.
The electric facility with it. So you have electric generation and the plant, and they're big plants. Now, the good news is a lot of money for them, and they can build them fast, but they're still very big plants. So I'd always say it would take a 1.5 to 2 years.
Mr. President, I'm
can I
curious.
ask you about the
They've already
NSA?
started.
Mr. President, have you been following the New York City mayor's race, and specifically Andrew?
Bro, he's speaking like a man who is not worried about any upcoming elections ever again. He's talking like there's no midterm elections, no general election ever again. You know, it'll take a couple of years.
Cuomo is now the front runner, according to the polls. How do you feel about that? Do you think you can have a good relationship with the mayor, Andrew Cuomo?
Well, I've always gotten along with him. We had our ins and outs a little bit. We did a great job for him. Remember, we built the convention center rooms for him. He didn't use them, unfortunately. And we sent the Mercy ship. We sent the really magnificent hospital ship, and they didn't use it. But we always had a pretty good relationship.
You going to make an endorsement in that race?
Well, it's not something I'm thinking running. Yeah.
On Russia, Ukraine, there's a Russian envoy in town for some meetings. Can you give us an update on how that's going?
We do. We have an envoy from Russia. We're talking about it. We'd like to see that stop as soon as possible because thousands of people are being killed a week. Soldiers, mostly soldiers, and Ukrainian soldiers and Russian soldiers. And you're losing 2,000, 3,000 sometimes a week. So we're spearheading the drive to get it done. Europe has not been successful in dealing with President Putin, but I think I will be successful.
Sir, can I ask you about the NSC? How many staffers were let go and why? Your National Security Council. How many staffers were let go?
There were some. Always, we're going to let go of people that we don't like, or people that we don't think can do the job, or people that may have loyalties to somebody else. You'll always have that.
So you mentioned Netanyahu recently. Israel has now talked about staying in Gaza, doing long-term occupation. Has anything changed in regard to the U.S. Gaza-Israel plans?
I spoke to him today, as a matter of fact, and I think he's going to be coming to our country sometime in the not-too-distant future, maybe next week. And we'll speak about Israel, and we'll speak about what's going on. That's another thing we'd like to get solved. And I think we will get it solved. But I think he very well may be coming next month. Benjamin Netanyahu.
Sir, could I follow up on your earlier comment about TikTok? You said that the Chinese might be willing to agree to approve that sale in exchange for tariff relief. Is that something that you've floated to them, or you've heard from them? Or
no, I'm just using that as an example. Okay. Let's say we had a problem with TikTok, and let's say China wasn't going to approve. We could use tariffs in order to get it approved. You know,
the deadline is
you give them something in return.
What's the update on the deal negotiations for
we
TikTok?
We're very close to a deal with a very good group of people for TikTok.
Larry Ellison and Oracle?
Is it multiple investors? Just
multiple.
And then did the last minute bids kind of throw things into disarray for you, or do you have your strategy completely locked up on who's going to...
Which last minute?
On acquiring TikTok.
No, I think that China maybe will call and say, well, we're upset with the tariffs, and maybe...
Bro, oh my God. He's so stupid. Oh my God, he literally thinks that China's going to be like, oh, Mr. President, you've destroyed us with the tariffs, and we don't know how to deal with it. We will give you TikTok. You can have it for free. We'll pay you to have TikTok, Mr. President. Please just lower the tariffs, please. Like, it honestly feels like he's just suggesting that for Xi Jinping to hear. Like, in his mind, it feels like he's saying that so that Xi Jinping will hear and then call him. I don't know if I'm being parasocial or not here, but that's the vibes I'm getting from him.
Maybe they want to get something a little bit in order to get TikTok approved. Who knows?
Is there plans underway to speak to Xi?
I have no knowledge of that, but that's the kind of thing.
On Israel, can you give us any update on the Palestinian relocation plan? Are we talking to any countries?
We're going to try and solve the Gaza problem. It's been a problem for many years, for many, many decades. It's been a big problem. I've met with, as you know, a lot of the hostages. It's a terrible situation. But if you notice, hostages are being released now. And that's happened only since I got involved. So we have hostages being released, quite a few, actually.
Oh, you're still committed to the relocation?
Hopefully, I'd like to get as many hostages as we can. And then Gaza's a very, very important thing. It's been under siege for many, many years. And it's a shame. It's a shame. A lot of people.
By who? By who, big dog? Talk to me. By who? Oh, wow, that's crazy. I can't believe Gaza has been under siege by, what, aliens? Who the fuck's doing it?
Die in Gaza. Gaza's been a place we have a lot of people die. A lot of bad things happen in Gaza. We'll see what we can do about it.
The dinner tonight, can you tell us about it? Who's going to be there? Any leaders?
So dinner tonight is sort of I have a couple of them, actually. But a lot of it's based around charity. It's at Doral. And we raise a lot of money for charities. We're also having one of the big professional golf tournament there live, and that'll take place over the next few days at Doral from I guess tomorrow till I think they have a pro-am right now, but I'll be speaking tonight. I think I'm making a speech to the players, great players, some of the best players in the world.
Oh my God!
And ultimately, hopefully, the two
fuck up about golf, dude.
I'm involved in that too. But hopefully we're going to get the two tours to merge. You have the PGA Tour, you have the LIV Tour. And I think having that merge would be a great thing.
Mr. President?
Yes.
About the tariffs, do you have any message for the American businesses that might feel the impact of any reciprocal tariffs coming from the EU, for example, from other countries?
Well, I think it's going to all work out. Remember, there are no tariffs if you build your plant or you build your product, make your product in the U.S. And so a lot of people, I mean, there's going to be a transition period because they're going to be building instead of paying tariffs to some other place. But there are no tariffs. You know, if you think there are no tariffs, all you have to do is build, make your product in the United States. So it's and a lot of people are doing that.
No.
They're moving,
got used to it.
like the auto companies. I know I spoke to 2 of the 4 or 5 that are really active, and they've already started
This is
moving
the
their
new meta
parts
now.
making
She thinks she
out of
runs the
Mexico, out
show.
of
She thinks she can do
Canada,
this
and
every
into
day
the
now.
United States.
Sir, do you have a sense of how long Elon Musk's mission will last and when he will depart?
Well, Elon is fantastic, and I think it's, you know, he's a patriot, and I think it's a shame what they're doing with his car company. And a great car. It's a great car, great product, and it tells you what a patriot he is. He's amazing. No, I mean, as long as he'd like, I like smart people, and he's a smart person. I also like him personally. When he endorsed me, that's when I really got to know him. I knew him a little bit before that, but not much, and then he endorsed me. And it was a very strong, embracing endorsement, as we all know. And
everything's Tesla.
I would say Elon will stay for a certain period of time.
Everything's Tesla. Everything's computer. I love Tesla. What are you doing? Oh shit. Uh-oh, she getting up here. Goddamn. She getting on the table. Everything is Tesla.
And then he's going to want to get back to his businesses full time. But he's done a fantastic job. We found hundreds of, think of it, just hundreds of, we found millions of dollars of fraud and abuse and waste. And they're still going, I mean, they're going strong. They found something today that's horrible. It's horrible. So what they found, well, you'll find out very soon. What they found is incredible. And I give him a lot of credit. He's got some very smart people with him.
Do you think he can finish?
They're working very closely with our secretaries and the people that are the heads of.
Do you think you would appoint him to another position once his 130 days?
Well, I think Elon's great, but he also has a company to run, or a number of companies to run. You know, that he can do this, that he can find the time. He loves the country. That's why he does it. But we're in no rush. But there'll be a point at which time Elon's going to have to leave.
So
But
even auto companies,
a specific date.
I would think a few months.
Even when Elon
Chachi's so heavy, it's crazy.
CEO, will Doge stick around in some kind of capacity?
Yeah, it'll still Doge itself. Yeah. At some point, just so you understand, I don't want to get it wrong. I want Elon to stay as long as possible. Number 1, I like him. Number 2, he's doing a great job. Number 3, he's doing this, and he's, you know, it's very costly for him. But so I want him to stay as long as possible. But there'll be a point where he's going to have to leave, and when he does, the secretaries will take totally over, and Doge will stay active. We have a lot of smart people. A lot of those people, I believe, are going to go into the agencies, and they'll work on it from the inside.
you mentioned auto companies that you've been speaking with. Have you spoken to any executives today?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't want to say who, but I speak to a lot of the auto executives. But we have much more than autos. We have chips coming in. We have steel coming in.
Notice, look, remember what I told you about how he was going to defend Elon? How much does she weigh? Like 120 pounds, I think. It's just too much. I literally can't pick her up anymore. Like, I can't pick her up with ease. I'm telling you right now, you can't tell from just looking on the camera, but she is so insanely heavy. Like, when she puts her full weight on me like she's doing right now, she thinks this is appropriate. She thinks she could just do this and get away with it, and it's fine. If she were to do this to an average human being and not one that is like a pretty fairly large guy like myself, she could kill him. Everything is Tesla. I love Tesla.
The steel factories are opening up and expanding at levels that people have not seen. Also,
tell us a little bit about your meeting with Laura Loomer and Mike Waltz today. How that came about.
So Laura Loomer is a very good patriot. She is a very strong person. And I saw her yesterday for a little while. She makes recommendations of things and people. And sometimes I listen to those recommendations like I do with everybody. I listen to everybody and then I make a decision. But I saw her yesterday. She was at the ceremony. And she is...
What?
She'll always have something to
What?
say, usually very constructive.
No, enough.
What did she recommend?
Enough.
She recommended certain people for jobs.
Adding to the administration, not
Adding.
Who did she
not
recommend?
firing.
Well, she'll recommend that too. But yesterday she recommended some people for jobs.
Did she have anything to do with the NSC aides who were ousted?
No, not at all.
Do you know how many, sir? Do you know how many from the NSC?
Not many.
Was it 5, a dozen?
I really don't know.
Who does Laura want?
There were a couple that I know.
Who did Laura recommend hiring?
Well, I don't want to say that, but she's recommended some good people over the years. She's been in the party a long time. She's done a good job.
Do you trust your national security staff is doing what you want them to do?
Sure. We've done very well. We've had big success with the Houthis, as you probably know.
The Houthis?
Nobody's been able to do it like us. And they were shooting the boats out of the water. They were sinking ships. That's what they want to do. They're getting a big charge out of sinking ships.
It is pretty crazy that this is what she used to look like in comparison to what she looks like now. Genuinely a different dog.
And unfortunately, they're associated with Iran very closely. So they have to stop that, but we've hit them very hard.
They have to stop that. They have to stop being associated with Iran